I speak to you in the name of the one holy and living God. Well, since Advent of 2021, Mary of Nazareth has presided from our altar, reminding us that when we consent, saying yes to the incomprehensible invitations of the Spirit of God, surprising, disturbing, and sometimes amazing, great things come about. 10 years ago, when Bishop Smith first called and asked me to visit Church of the Apostles with the possibility of being the vicar, with not a nanosecond of hesitation, I replied, no. Now, many of you know I had my mind set on serving at a place where there was skiing, snow days, all things winter. The picture for my future boasted mountains draped with tall pine and aspen forests, alpine lakes, and the smell of pinon burning. No part of the picture had saguaros and stickers and scorpions and rattlesnakes and javelina perfume. We just got quite a whiff of that yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. Well, 3 months later, Bishop Smith called me again, this time urging, actually insisting, that I give the good people of Church of the Apostles a chance. So, a priest can only say no to the bishop maybe once. And I very begrudgingly agreed. So decked out with a, crabby chip on my shoulder, a few weeks later, I headed south from Scottsdale on dreary Interstate 10, thinking that ride would never end. And I turned off Tangerine, came onto the interstate, around this giant curve, and what to my wondrous eyes should appear but mountains. Gorgeous, up-close, personal mountains, who knew? I burst out laughing. Oh, dear God, I should have been more specific. When I prayed to live and serve near mountains, I meant the Rocky Mountains. Well, the deal was not sealed that moment, but a tiny fissure fractured my hardened heart, and the Spirit of God snickered while turning my upside-down frown into a smile. And as it is said, the rest is history. 2 years ago, when I received a letter from the new Bishop Redall, sent to all clergy, stating that we are required to retire at age 72, and that she would not continue the previous Bishop Smith's allowance for retired clergy to continue in their positions. I was angry, anxious, devastated in some measure, and much perplexed. I kept asking myself, how can this be? This is not the picture I have for my future. And so I wrestled with this unwelcome news until I realized, you better make plans for your sabbatical. And you better use that time to find your way back to peace. Somehow I had to find a way to consent to the unwelcome new reality. Well, as you might imagine, there was a fair amount of wrestling that had to go on before my heart even began to crack a little bit. kind of happened when I sat down with my much neglected journal. I think I was in Colorado at the time in a treehouse. And I put pen to the words that we have rehearsed here together for 9 years. Not my will, your will be done. Except I didn't mean it. You ever been there? And so, the sabbatical was 3 months long, and I thought, well, that's what we're working on this 3 months. And every day I prayed, help me to mean it when I pray, not my will, your will be done. And toward the end of the sabbatical, I began to feel a peace kind of settling in my heart, and my mind stopped jabbering about the things that were not right and that I didn't like and shouldn't be this way. And I heard this voiceless voice inside of me encouraging me, saying, Deborah, this doesn't mean the end of your priesthood. This isn't the end of meaningful ministry. No, you have no idea what lies ahead. And yes, you will have to say goodbye to the people and the place you've come to love. But you know what? You might want to start listening to all those sermons you've been preaching. Always we begin again. We spent a whole year with that. Find God in all things without judgment. Welcome the present moment. Let go of your desire for things to be different than they are. Put your head in your heart. And for God's sake, listen. Live without fear. It's time for you to pull yourself together and mean it when you pray. Not my will, your will be done. And that, dear people of God, is the message I leave with you today. Many of you told me that you were shocked and angry, anxious, and perplexed when you heard that I had to retire. Trust me, I understand. But now it is your time of sabbatical, an extended period of time to pause, rest, reflect. Welcome the new moment and renew your dreams for apostles, the interfaith community, and the world. Dear people of God, please hear the angel Gabriel's words meant for you today. Greetings, favored ones. The Lord is with you. Do not be afraid, for you have found favor with God. And now you will conceive a new way of being Church of the Apostles. You will call a godly leader who will help you boldly embody God's dream for a multi-faith community marked with holiness and harmony. And there will be no end to the goodness born of you. And then after screwing up your eyes and furrowing your eyebrows and, well, how can this be? I pray you take a deep breath. Join our sister Mary and boldly consent. Consent to the angel's incredible promise. Let it be with us according to your word. Or if you prefer, borrow Jesus' prayer. Not my will, your will be done. To people of God, apostles, friends from your beautiful, multiple faith traditions, together let us accept the divine invitation to participate wholeheartedly in the unceasing creativity of the invisible source that we call God, trusting that all that we need is to live without fear and consent to the ever-evolving present moment. With my whole heart, I pray you will welcome and engage the season of change as an opportunity to listen deeply to the movement of the Spirit and to join Mary, consenting to be fertile ground through which the seed of new life is born again and again and again, in you and through you, Church of the Apostles, the multi-faith community, and the world. Although my first yes to visit Church of the Apostles was tentative at best, today my yes to each and every one of you is with my whole heart. You have blessed me more than ever I can say. You have made me better in countless ways. I will hold you in the cave of my heart for all of my days. Thank you. Amen.